Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is Ash Quest, and it's time once again for another Tome Tuesday, where we play the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. We are making excellent progress in this book thanks to the amazing attributes of Sir Pan of Cake, whose art has been kindly illustrated and provided by channel supporter 8 Pancakes for Lunch. Beautiful art included now in the thumbnails. And as we get any more art, it will also be showcased so you can see the epicness of Sir Pan's physique, his perfect form, his almost perfect everything stats. We have been diligently drawing a map, and I see what they mean about there needing only be a minimal amount of combat to obtain the one direct ending to the game. We have a pretty cohesive, comprehensive map of the first section of the dungeon. We've been allowed to eat a few of our rations, which I haven't really dug into very much, our provisions. We have a total of 10, and we're told that, you may need all 10 if you're going to survive this adventure. So the provision breaks have kind of been my barometer, if you will, of how this adventure is progressing, but we have actually needed to make a second map. We'll go ahead and place Sir Pan of Cake statistics off to the left here, a little bit of curvature to the paper, not to worry, and we will continue our adventure. We are on section 44, and it reads, Panting after the struggle, you sit down to collect yourself and finish the provisions you started. Eventually, you pack your bag and wade into the stream. Turn to 399. So, it feels like we've been through so many sections, but I know that there are still so many more sections to go. 399. The current is strong and takes you swiftly downstream. You are washed along through a narrow opening and out into a large cavern with banks on both sides. The current washes you onto the south bank. Turn to 218. The south bank. I'm going to go ahead, draw out where we are now. Little arrows to indicate that we're on the south bank. And we're here. We're here. So, not sure where we will end up now that we've gone there, and I hope that I've given myself enough room to make more map notes all around, but we're going to turn to 218 and find out. You are on the south bank of an underground river facing across its black depths. There appear to be 4 ways of crossing. To your left, a rusted bell bears the sign, Ferry Service, 2 gold pieces. Oh, there is actually an illustration for this. It is a black, cavernous space, and there, Ferry Service, 2 gold pieces, please ring. A piece of door, which is effectively driftwood, and a rickety bridge. There's a small raft in front of you on the bank with a long stick resting beside it. Oh, that's a raft? Oh gosh, you could punt across the river. A rickety old bridge crosses on the right. If you don't trust any of these, you may swim. Which will you choose? Well, we are going to pay the ferry fee. We are going to ring the bell and turn to 3. I did not mean for that to rhyme, but that sort of thing happens from time to time. The bell gives a dull clang, and after a few moments you see a withered old man climb into a small rowing boat moored on the north bank. He rows slowly across to you, moors the boat, and limps towards you. He asks you for 3 gold pieces. When you protest at the price, he mumbles some flimsy excuse about inflation. He begins to get angry at your protestations. Do you pay him the 3 gold pieces or threaten him? Well, I called him here, knowing full well what I should have expected. I'm going to pay him the 3 gold pieces. I have no qualms about doing so. Really, I don't know why. Sir Pan would be so much in a tizzy about that. 3 gold pieces out of the 25 that I scored here. We will not threaten him. Sir Pan is no threatener of elders, especially withered elders. We will turn to 272. Watch him turn into a monster or something now. Bite off my upper half. He calms down, takes the gold, deduct this from your gold, and rows you across to the north bank. After mooring the boat, He ambles off down a passageway. Turn to 7. Amble away, old man, amble away. You are on the north bank of a fast-flowing river in a large underground cavern. Turn to 214. So we have taken the boat, and I'll put a $sign here. 3, an arrow, and another dot. That's where we are, essentially. Turn to 214. Interesting that was 2 separate passages, Facing northwards, the rock face is smooth and glistening with moisture. Moss of many different hues grows on the surface. There is an eerie silence, punctuated only by the splashings of the river as it flows behind you. You have 3 options. Now wait a minute, that was 7 that I was at. They said to go to 214? Yes. Yeah, okay. So, we're simply commenting our observations of the rock. Our 3 options are, a passage runs off to the northwest. If you take this route, turn to 271. A large timber door is directly in front of you in the middle of the rock face. If you open the door, turn to 104. Third option, overleaf. Another passage runs out along the river eastwards. To follow this along the riverbank, turn to 99. I'm really curious about the door. And the door is directly in front of me, facing northwards. So, we'll draw the door, made of timber, which we have stomped through timber doors left and right. They call us the Timber Stomper, which gives us the attention of many undesirable townsfolk. And that is turning to 104, so that's what we'll do. Here we are. And you find yourself in a short, narrow passageway with a door ahead to the north. You try this door. Turn to 49. A kind viewer has commented that Steve Jackson did part of this book, the part before the river, and Ian Livingstone did the part after the river. I think that was the order of events. But things are definitely reading a little bit differently now, it seems. The passages seem shorter. They're more description, move on, description, move on. The door squeaks open on rusty hinges. The room is dark, and your eyes begin to adjust themselves as you close the door behind you. You hear a shuffling in the room, but before you can react, a blow to your head knocks you senseless. Lose 2 stamina points and turn to 122. Oh no. I haven't necessarily been attacked. I've simply been instructed to lose 2 stamina points. That brings me down to 18. So the crescent shield doesn't take effect in this. 122. Oh God. You awake with a throbbing head and look around. The room is about 8 meters square with doors to the north and south. You have been dumped in the southwest corner. Standing motionless in the center of the room are 4 men. At least they appear to me men. Their skin is a greeny gray color. Their clothes are tattered and torn, and they are all staring vacantly at the ceiling. One carries a club, one a scythe, one an axe, and one a pick. They are ignoring you completely. Around the room are various peasant-style weapons, pitchforks, axe handles, pointed sticks, etc. 1 or 2 shields and several barrels. In the northeast corner is a human corpse with a sword in one hand and a shield in the other. You move your hand up to your head to feel for signs of blood, and you are relieved to find you are not bleeding. But as your hand moves, the strange creatures in the center of the room turn their eyes down toward you. Do you try to talk to them, jump to your feet and charge them with your sword, or scramble for an exit through the south door? I'm going to try to talk to them by turning to 268. This is a bit of a conundrum. Not sure what to do about this. Their vocabulary is limited to a series of moans and groans. They appear not to be intelligent at all. Furthermore, your conversation merely serves to attract their attention to you. They grip their weapons and it looks as though you will have to fight them. However, there is a slim chance that you could make it to the door you came in through. If you want to try for that door, turn to 13. If you have resigned yourself to battle, turn to 282. Brave heroes, I offer you this opportunity to take a guess at what our brave, courageous Sir Pan is going to do. Flee, you say? Nay, there will be no fleeing. 282 is imminent. It is written in the sands of time. 282 is tattooed on Sir Chin's left bicep. The 4 creatures shuffling towards you are mindless zombies. Their vacant eyes suggest that their actions are controlled by a will which is not their own. You are still too dizzy to think properly, but you must act quickly. The first zombie reaches you and prepares to swing his club. You must fight him. The first zombie has a skill of 7, which we will place here to remind us, 10-sided die, and a stamina of 6, and we'll place that here. 3 good attacks to this zombie will take care of him. Go ahead and empty out the other dice that I'm not using. And it's 2d6 time. The zombie has an attack roll, pretty promising one, of 8 plus skill of 7. That's 15 altogether. My skill is 12, so I only have to roll a 3 or better, and I did. And that zombie's stamina has been reduced by 2. Another attack by the zombie, this time a 5 plus his 7, so that's 12. That's equal to what I have, and I absolutely annihilate him. Stamina reduced to 2 again. One more attack by the zombie, a great roll, a 10 plus a 7, meaning a 17. I have to roll a 5, at least. I roll a 6, and so it's not a draw. I actually decimate that zombie. If you defeat the first zombie, add 2 luck points and turn to face the other 3. Fight each in turn. All right, so we will add the 2 luck points, bringing us up to 13 luck. So we actually have a chance now to test our luck and guarantee. No, actually, for some reason I want to say that luck was the one that could go above its starting number. Let me double check that. No. We would have to drink the potion of fortune to do that. In this case, since the text did not specify, we can only go up to 12. But that's still fantastic. That is still a number that we can 100% roll next time we need to test our luck. So we need to roll a 12 or lower, and we can definitely do that. Now, they've been saying to fight these monsters in turn, and I've kind of been doing like one, then going to the next, then the next, and I'm actually not sure if that's what they meant to do. But there's not quite a consequence for doing it one way or the other. Whether I fight one completely one at a time or fight in turns, it's going to mean different things for the skill levels involved. One might have a higher skill than the next one, and so on. What I think I'm going to do for this fight is go ahead and focus on fighting the zombie with scythe. Then after our battle is complete, move on to the zombie with pick, then the zombie with axe. It's just not going to matter in this context. Their skill levels are 6, 6, and 6 respectively. So at the exact same skill level, again, there's just not a whole lot to have to keep track of here. So the first zombie's stamina is 6. The second zombie's stamina, the one with the pick, is 6. And the third zombie has a stamina of 5. And these are all here for my reference. I'm going to fight the first zombie, the one with the scythe. He rolls a 6. And I have rolled, well, his total is 12, and I just automatically am going to take him down. So he goes down 2 stamina. And his next roll is a 14. This time, I need to roll 2 1s for a draw, or the next lowest roll to actually subtract 2 more stamina. I hope that I'm not going too fast. This is a fast-paced fight, while... Oh! The enemy has rolled a 12, resulting in a total attack roll of 18. This might be the first time Sir Pan of Cake loses a stamina point. And Sir Pan of Cake actually rolls a 17 attack roll because the attack score is his 12 skill plus 5, which is 17. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 18, 19. Never mind. We have beaten this attack by 1, and we have destroyed the skeleton with the scythe. If I said pick, I meant scythe. Sorry about that. Skeleton with a zombie. Zombie, not skeleton. There is a major difference, Ash. A major difference. These are 2 completely different beasts. A zombie and a skeleton are as different as a goblin and a dragon. Okay, we're fighting the second one. This one's got the pick, and its attack roll is 12, 13, 14, 15 altogether. We can beat that, and we do. The double 6s, the boxcars in this fight. This is an amazing fight. The zombies are shambling around Sir Pan of Cake. But by the time he deflects the blow of one, the blow of another is coming right down behind him. He has to be quick on his feet and not let them surround him, because even though Sir Pan is mighty, careless missteps in his current state of being slightly dizzy might cause him to be wounded, perhaps even severely. These zombies are not formidable on their own in the slightest. It's just down to Sir Pan to keep his concentration and focus and keep the momentum going. The next zombie That's a 14. We can draw, but we don't. We actually take a stamina by 2. The pick swings at Sir Pan's head. This is a 14 once again, and Sir Pan has dodged, striking a blow of his own, which completely dismembers the zombie's arm, and the zombie falls to the floor. The third zombie, the one who has an axe, is the last opponent in the room, and the axe is heavy. You can tell by the downward, taut angles of the zombie's arms that, although it has a tight grip on the axe, perhaps one that is facilitated by rigor mortis, that it cannot wield it effectively. Nevertheless, it seems to have brought it over its head somehow, and it's coming down on Sir Pan. We do not count dice rolls outside of the dice tray. And we have an attack score of 14 again. Sir Pan, just completely rolls out of the dice tray. We're going to have to be careful about that. Completely avoids the attack, deftly sidestepping and striking at the zombie, getting used to how zombies feel when the sword goes through their chests. The zombie seems unfazed, although it is a bit slower, a bit weaker, and attacks again, this time with a 13. Sir Pan doesn't even have to roll to know. This is predictable, this is slow, this is something he can conquer in a deft single swing. He twists his sword in the zombie's torso before lifting up his boot and kicking the withered corpse body off of it. One more strike should do the trick. He just has to watch the zombie's next movement carefully, and the zombie's final movement is the 12, which of course is completely mitigated, again completely, by our Sir Pan. He has destroyed this room of zombies. 4 zombies lay on the floor, formerly warriors, perhaps but peasants, but now useless and lifeless. We turn to 115. The poor wretches lying dead at your feet almost look happy to be relieved of the burden of life, but as you look down at them, you sense that you are not the only one to know of their deaths. Looking around the room, you may investigate the weapons lying around, go over to the dead body in the northeast corner, or check the barrels. We have choices that all seem to culminate in the same thing, and I'm betting that choosing one will keep us from choosing the others, so we are going to go over to the dead body in the northeast corner. That requires us to turn to 313. If I have only one choice and only one opportunity, that is what I will do, brave heroes. You check over the body. The poor wretch was obviously caught in the same way that you were, but his weaker skull shattered under the club's blow. He wears a suit of leather armor no better than your own, holds a wooden shield on one wrist, and clutches a steel-bladed sword in his other hand. In his pockets are 8 gold pieces, and around his neck is a silver crucifix. You may take any 2 of these items you wish, write them on your equipment list, and turn to 221. Also, add 1 luck and 1 skill point. 1 skill point. Now, going back to the section on restoring skill, stamina, and luck, I haven't had to alter my skill score at all, and I haven't got anything equipped that would increase my skill score, right? So I'm not really sure why it would matter. I think that I could, if I wanted, give myself a skill point that would exceed my initial value, but the text doesn't explicitly say that that's what I can do, so I won't do it. And additionally, the reason I'm not going to do it, even if it's completely valid, is that my skill is already 12. My skill is already extremely high. I'm not struggling. I don't have a reason to increase it another tick. It is highly rewarding to talk about the adventures of Sir Pan and roleplay this out, and to see the dice rolls actually matching the story. That is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Maybe not once in a lifetime, once in an RPG character's lifetime for sure. So, really, it's already ideal. I'm not going to increase his initial skill point. I will add 1 luck. Well, I can't do that either if I use the same logic. My luck is already 12. I don't need to add either of these. I can safely ignore the instructions to give myself this boon. But I will look at the items, any 2 items. I think I will take his 8 gold pieces, and I think I will take the silver crucifix, because nothing else really seems to make sense to take. So the silver crucifix, and I still have items, by the way, that I'm not sure what to do with. The sweet cheese, for example, the black glove. The 8 gold pieces are actually going to bring me up to 30. So we have had quite an adventure already. And it has ended in this room for now. I think we will see what the next section will be. Turn to 221. I think it's funny that was the additions were added almost as an afterthought. What are these mysterious items you have collected? Which have you written down first on your equipment list? The armor, the shield, the sword, the gold, or the crucifix? Oh no. I didn't take his armor. I didn't take his shield. I didn't take his sword. I did take the gold, but I wrote down the silver crucifix first. So the silver crucifix is what would be taking effect first. And we're going to turn to 170. What have I done? The crucifix is solid silver and worth 4 gold pieces. Record this on your adventure sheet and turn to 319. Okay. I'm just going to write 4 GP next to it. I'm not sure why that's relevant. Am I going to find a merchant here? All right. Turning to 319 now. And we're here. To find the secret of the second item you have collected, turn to 221 and investigate. If you have already investigated both items, turn to 81. Oh. We will turn to 221 then. What a lovely bit of instruction. That actually makes sense how they did that. That would be the gold. So I can now turn to 110. I've got my finger on the page here just to help me refer back. I have no doubt that it's going to send me that way regardless. You are now 8 gold pieces richer. You also find another 2 gold pieces in his boot, hidden there for safety. Okay, fine. I just completely robbed this man of his gold. He's not using it, I guess. And record the gold on your adventure sheet, turn to 319. Back to 319. If you have already investigated both items, turn to 81. That's wild. Wildly done as a gamebook mechanic. Very, very good. A noise startles you, prompting you to leave the room quickly. You walk up to investigate the north door. Turn to 205. 205 we go. And I think here is the illustration for 205. But, brave adventurers, we are out of time for today, so we will continue this adventure and explore this large room in next week's episode. It feels like almost no time has passed at all, but for once, I'm going to write down that we're on 205. I don't think I'm going to forget when I open the book to this page, but just in case, because sometimes I second guess where I was. Thank you, brave adventurers, for joining me on this adventure. Once again, comment anything you like down below, including what you're thinking about the series so far. I really appreciate the support and the kind words that I've gotten from everyone. Shout out to kind viewer Jeffrey Whitty, who's been here since the beginning and who has highly encouraged the playthrough. And I will see you all in the next episode. Till then, have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.